right. This is one I couldn't. It's been in the bin for a month now, and I was kind of pissed at myself because on one of my brain fart transitions when I was transitioning and all, I literally deleted an entire camera full of video of this. So you're only getting one angle of this, but I have to put it up, if for no other reason, for what one of the cucks that comes up and confronts me says. You're just not going to believe it. But it starts out with a preacher. And I'm going through a lot of soul searching right now. So I'm questioning myself and everything else. So I engage a little conversation, kind of, seeing if I can get God's approval or one of God's messengers' approval. I don't know. We're all on our own, though, with God. Then this guy comes up. I forget his name, but he's a kick in the pants. He's from L.A., and he's just a good character. He's good. He's a good character. Of course, he's a staunch liberal, but he's fun as hell. It's fun to talk to. And every time he's around, I seem to draw a crowd because, we get into it, and then the crowd comes along, and some of them put their 2 cents in. That's what happens here. And one of them put more than 2 cents in. He put in $2. Is that what they did? $200 worth of what he put in. And so this is a series of kind of like an ongoing conversation for a half hour here. So it just rolls right along. I'm not going to interrupt it at all. But you're gonna have fun with it. And again, if you like it, you like it. If you care, you share. And of course, you really love me, you go ahead and buy one of my products and or put something in my kitty. Because dearly, 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 dearly need it. So and I want to thank one of my subscribers here. Stephen Boyle, thank you very much for your contribution. That's the shout out to Stephen Boyle for his generous contributions. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Stephen. Okay, so without further ado, because this is a long one, let's get into it, and you guys hopefully will have some fun with it, okay?
Your mouth is a problem. Everybody's mouth's a problem. Well, my mouth's a problem.
Don't tell me. Look at my mouth. Look at what I'm doing. I mean, you're supposed to be humble. I'm trying to learn how to distill all the things that you teach. I'm learning. That's one of the things I'm reading here by Jamie Walden. Are you familiar with Stephen Quayle and all these? These guys preach a lot of Christian science, Christian science.
Classic Christianity.
Yeah. I just came back from a seminar up in Branson.
Yeah.
And what they were talking about up there was a lot about how the scripture is in line with the transhumanism, AI technologies, all the things that are blending in today and how they were mentioned in the Bible.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, getting strength to equip the world. Warrior class of Christians. Yeah, we've gotten away from the warrior class Christianity.
Yeah. That's what that's what these guys are all about.
That's pretty neat.
It's like, and in there, matter of fact, I just read, fortuitous, I just read the chapters on how, it's right there with the markings if you want to cruise to it, how where he's chastising a lot of the churches now for preaching the false word. Placating people, telling them what they want to hear, right?
Watering it down.
Yes, right. So like trying to please everyone. Yeah. And where it's not, you got when we're called to battle when we see the signs.
Right.
It's not a time to cower.
Well, this is interesting. This may be particular to Western Christianity, but I don't meet many Christians who've read the Bible.
Oh, indeed.
I mean, and if they've read it one time.
Well,
and they've been in the church supposedly 20, 30 years. I said, read it one time? I said, this is a standard in which we live our lives.
I don't need it read to me. I need it taught to me. I mean, reading it is, but every time I read it, of course, every questions keep on coming up.
Well, let me tell you a good website. Okay. You can actually get it on your phone. It's called the Word of Promise, which it reads the Bible in New King James. Orchestrated. It's like you're standing there when Jesus is talking on the beach. You hear the birds. You hear the. It's actually pretty nice. It's like listening to a movie.
I need to do that because when I'm reading, of course, my mind is going, "What does that mean? Wait a second," Yeah. And because I'm always thinking linearly with this,
right.
it would be still dealing with this world.
All right.
And so it's a tough read.
But let me tell you what happens is, and I'm trying to encourage people. I said every time you read it, it's like the first time you read it is almost like when you take a puzzle, let's say a 10,000 piece puzzle, and you flip it over. And let's say you don't have a picture to go by. The first time you read through it is just like turning over the pieces. It's almost chaos. It's like, wow, what in the world? But every time you read it through, and I encourage people to read through it every year, every time you read through, things start gelling together. And you'll say, wow, I read that back over here. And the pieces start putting together. Every time you read it, and God's made it that way. It's like, we go through first grade, second grade, we get a first grade reader, second grade reader, third grade, fourth, fifth, on up. See, for the Christian, there's only one book. But the Holy Spirit allows us to, every time we go through it, He allows us to learn at that level that we're at. So one book, Holy Spirit takes it to another level. It just goes deeper. It goes deeper in the enlightenment.
At half of that conference was a Christian revival, basically.
Okay.
But dealing again with the war we have going on right now, with the with the technology and the advances we're going through there right now with that, because that is really changing some dynamics, and it's a battle that we've really never had to face before.
Yeah.
But it is here now.
It's being an attack on truth.
Oh, amen.
Truth
That's the whole thing.
Because if Satan can attack the truth and twist the truth, then we don't have a standard to go by. We've lost our footing of what is right and wrong.
Right.
We've lost our moral compass, and then everything gets well, maybe that was right, and maybe that's right in this category. No, it's not right.
Now, Bishop, let me ask you something, because I'm doing this. Sometimes I question what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness! Am I doing it the right way? That's what I want to do. Because the main thing is, God, teach the truth. Obviously, I'm trying to. I'm not a preacher, but maybe I'm in a small little way.
Right.
But I'm trying to get people to where I'm trying to go, all right, they'll recognize this. But this is truth. You're going to see some truths here that they don't tell you here on the corporate-owned news.
Right. Well, some of your things are edgy.
Well,
okay, you know that.
It's me, and I also come from that. I also come from the. Yeah,
and that's what you're doing. You're trying to provoke some things. But some of it's edgy that you're going to have to say, well, maybe I stepped over the bound there, and that's for you.
But
to pray about.
I think about it. The people that have pushed that envelope, from the very beginning, that took the slings and arrows for it. The people. I was just talking to a couple of young ladies about it. I was involved in the early free speech movement.
Okay.
And how some of the early comedians that came out at that time they got thrown in jail. They,
7 forbidden words.
Thank you. Right. Yeah. Thank you. And so you got to kind of celebrate those rebels, as it were, because without them, But thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello there, young lady.
Hi. How are you?
You're up.
I can explain why I'm a proud liberal.
Oh, please do.
I think it's about empathy.
Empathy?
You know I'm here in the back row.
Oh,
you know that.
Empathy. Okay, so explain, does that mean that the left has a corner on empathy?
I think that, at least I find that being a liberal, I tie to my own empathy.
But what does that
Personally.
mean? Empathy for whom?
Empathy for everybody who is marginalized.
There you go. Well, okay. But who is being marginalized?
I think women. I think people of color. I think
How are women being marginalized?
Did you watch the hearings for the Supreme Court this week?
Well, of course, you couldn't avoid them. But
Sure.
I'm asking you, not about the hearings. I'm asking you, how are women? Can you vote?
Absolutely.
There are more women millionaires and CEOs than ever before. I personally know a lot of women lawyers.
But I'm a female lawyer.
Okay, so what stopped you from being a lawyer?
I mean, it's not about what stopped me individually. It's that the upper echelons of society do not reflect the makeup of this population.
Excuse me, they don't? Well, I can probably agree with you on that point.
Judiciary Committee,
I can probably agree with you on that point, but that still doesn't answer how. But again, maybe it did, because we got a lot of female senators and congressmen.
Well, why
women.
weren't there
why
any
did you
women
have to
on the
get a woman
Republican
to
judiciary?
talk for 'em?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, again, are we going to go by merit,
Well,
or
you're
are we
bringing
just?
a lot of irritation to this conversation. I'm just having.
No, I'm just asking you. Are we to go to by merit? What good you
I
are,
have to
or
go.
are we supposed to go
But,
on quotas?
this is some
Because
vulgar
quotas
stuff.
imagines is
This is some really
that disparages the people, that talks down to them. That's like saying women aren't good enough. You got to promote them because they're women. Or because they're blacks.
Sometimes he gets tuned up. He gets.
Am I doing okay? Tell me, am I doing all right? I don't know. Is that, I mean, that's disparaging to say that we need help. I'm a woman and I need help. That's like you saying, because I'm a black man, I need help. You don't. You're an intelligent man. You don't need anybody's help.
Well, I would like even-handed consideration, especially in the Supreme Court. But at this point, there's even Kagan and Sotomayor. We're trying to say that the Supreme Court was going to be even-handed.
What is the purpose of the Supreme Court?
To interpret the Constitution.
Thank you. So where does what you just said have to relate to what that says?
When someone says, how was it put? I'm trying to remember how was it actually put. It was something like, what goes around comes around. It was something like that. Goes around comes around, and then there were clear indications of who was going to get the brunt of the going
You
around.
mean like elections have consequences?
Like elections have consequences.
Yeah, that's what Obama said.
But see, elections have consequences on the political side. Supreme Court's not supposed to be.
Well, then why did the liberals make it so political? Why was it so political? Why did the liberals make it so political then? Why was it made political?
Oh, now I can tell you, I can discuss why it was made political, why the liberals made it. Was made political because of two things. Because of Roe v. Wade and Brown versus Board of Education. There grew a movement out of those two rulings that said, never again.
Never again what?
Never again were there going to be rulings like Roe v. Wade and Brown versus.
So in other words, the Roe v. Wade means, okay, kill your baby. It's okay to kill babies.
No.
What do you mean? No. That's what they do. That's what they do. We have a big, huge industry of killing babies. Liberals love to kill babies.
Here's the reason why it's no.
No, it's true. You love to kill babies.
Roe v. Wade.
You go out of your way. You spend millions of dollars to go ahead and make sure you get the right to keep on killing babies.
Roe v. Wade is all about personal liberty. There are some people.
What about the personal liberty of the baby you kill?
What, of the zygote that is being destroyed?
Oh, it's a zygote. Yeah. I see, it's a zygote. I see. It's a zygote, folks. It's a zygote. It's not a baby, it's a zygote. I just want to make sure, because you know what, when you kill something, you try to give it, a name that is like, when we wanted to kill the Japs, we call them nips, and we want to call when we call blacks, we call niggers, we want to kill them or disparage them, right? Do whatever. Yeah,
that's part and parcel.
You want to call someone a cockroach. We call the Nazis cockroaches.
That's the reason why the current movement actually takes babies away from taking babies
call the what?
away?
Zycons? Not babies.
But and I understand your frustration, but we're talking about
I'm not frustrated. You're the one that's killing the babies. And I don't know what. How do you
rip from the mother's teeth? Oh, God.
Huh?
From the mother's teeth, you rip them and you put them.
What are you talking about? Where's the evidence of that?
What happens at the border? You rip them and have no plan.
Show me the evidence of that.
Oh, come on. You're better than that.
Show me the evidence of
even
that.
On your...
Well, let me ask you this. If you commit a crime, are you going to be able to take your children to jail with you? Do you take your children to jail if you break the law?
There are some jail situations that allow the children to stay with the mothers. They're in law that
if you break the law, would you be allowed to take your children to jail with you?
For argument's sake, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Obama, of course, started, well, that was going on when Obama was going on.
Because it's the law. I mean, we do actually have border control laws. I mean, we do.
So it was going on when Obama was going on.
Sure.
Why didn't anybody bring that up then?
The reason why is because those were minors that crossed by themselves.
No. The policies were the same things. The same law was going on when they crossed over. Oh, yes, it was. I've talked to people. You want to look at the border agents I talked to out here? You want to listen to the videos of the border agents I talked to out here?
Jefferson Beauregard Sessions changed the law. This is a new situation.
As I said, would you like to watch the videos of the border guards I've spoken to out here? I've asked them that exact question, and the answers they've given me. Would you like to see it from the horse's mouth? The people I get mine, not from, oh yeah, you know the evidence is there. But let me ask you, how proud are you of the liberals in the past?
That my government snatches children from parents in my name? I'm not very proud of that at all.
In the past 2 weeks, how proud of you are the false allegations and how the mob mentality that the liberals took over.
Oh, you're talking about Bardo Kavanaugh? Oh, that's who you're talking about, is Bardo Kavanaugh. So on Bardo Kavanaugh, I didn't have to have a whole big evaluation of the things that came from the professor. The reason why is because he was sunk before that.
I'm asking you
perjury.
How was it?
Because of perjury, and he perjured himself.
And where is this perjury you speak of?
Oh, it's actually not being impressed upon him.
Oh, I say. So the FBI couldn't find it in their investigation that you guys asked for that turned up, to be 0 for you, right?
Because they said that we will only investigate things that Ford is talking about. They will not investigate. It's very interesting that it's said that there
never
were
satisfied, are they?
Seven investigations of Bardo Kavanaugh, and not one of them did they ask his freshman roommate. Now, if you wanted to find out about me, you would ask my freshman roommate, and I'd have to zip his lips shut. But that
I would imagine
revealing.
You ought to be shipping. There's a lot of times I think you ought to zip your lips shut out here, right? But actually, I love you talking because when you talk, hashtag walk away keeps on going like this. People are going, oh no, I ain't listening to that crap. And they're signing up. This is why I'm walking away from the Democratic Party. I ain't being that. No way. No, you cannot defend the mob mentality takeover of Washington by the liberals over the past few weeks. No. You can't do it. You have just lost so many people. Actually, I love the way you guys double down on stupid.
When you say in public that you're going to take retribution against me, how can I trust you as an even arbiter of the Constitution?
We do it at the voting booth. You wait till you see what's going to happen. You know that blue wave that was going? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's sort of like this right now, right? Now there's like, you hear that roar? That's like a tidal wave, a big red tidal wave.
And I do agree with you because we won the popular vote by 3.5 minutes. How do we have to win it by by 20 million votes? Do we have to win it by 30 million votes to actually have our views
I got
seen?
something for
Because we did win it by 3.5. And of the Republicans who are that have been president,
I've heard this song so many times before, and it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
It doesn't mean a thing because guess what? Even though he may have lost a popular vote,
yes,
he's still our president. He's still our president.
That is true.
All right, now let me ask you this. Where's the equivalent online? If you think he's doing a bad job, Republican, the Republican Party, right? Where is the equivalent on the left of hashtag walkaway? Because hashtag walkaway is growing. You know what that is?
No, I don't.
Oh, let me inform you, my unknowing friend. There is a gay, white, liberal New Yorker who was, he started listening to Trump, and he was listening to, what he has been all his life. And he started going, we ought to look at, he's made sense here. All of a sudden, you white racist, you Nazi. No. I'm a gay guy. I'm a liberal. I'm in New York. I mean, believe me, I'm not anything you say. Kept on piling on him. And he said, all right.
Hundreds of millions of people watch The Apprentice.
Wait, let me finish. Okay. So he made this.
Hundreds of millions of people watch
I know you don't want to hear this. So he made this.
I listen to him.
He made this.
I don't want to hear.
He made this. Of course you don't want to hear it. He made this YouTube called hashtag walkaway.
Wave at the camera, we're being.
Oh, I think so.
So
go ahead.
He went hashtag walkaway. Why I walked away from the Democratic Party. Boom! It went viral. All of a sudden, thousands upon thousands of leftists are coming out of the closet going, me too, God bless you. I've talked to people out here, they're so, they spend hours on the internet watching hashtag walkaways, right? The testimonials of why people are walking away from the left. So here's what I want to know. If Trump is doing such a bad job, where's the equivalent? Where's the hashtag jumping off the Trump train? Show me that.
There isn't.
There's tons of people.
But what?
There are people who are disgusted with him.
Show me. Where's the hashtag? Where's the hashtag jumping off the Trump train? Where? Go look at hashtag walk away and you will see. You can watch, I swear, you can spend 100 hours watching the damn thing.
The reason.
I feel like I would say something and then you would be like, oh, well, it's from CNN or it's from MSNBC.
Well, you're assuming what I'm going to say?
You were assuming what he was going to say the whole time.
Because I've talked to him before. I know what all you guys are going to say.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly.
Because that's all you'll ever watch.
Sorry, buddy. I know what you're thinking.
Well, let's have a conversation. Come on, let's find out.
No, I don't need to talk. You're like my mom. I don't need to. I'm having a good
Look
day
at this.
today.
I'm trying to have a conversation, and you're just doing this. Why?
No, because I'm good. It's my right to not have a
Well,
conversation.
you had a lot to say just now. You opened up your big mouth. Why won't you keep on doing it?
Mouth, and now you're insulting me?
I just, you're shutting it up.
How they do, that's.
Come on.
No, I like watching discourse. It's fun to watch.
Well, that's probably why you're a Democrat, because you certainly know how to cause it.
You just insult.
Well, I'm asking liberals to defend them what they did over the past Kavanaugh hearings, how that mob rule.
You want to talk about the Kavanaugh hearings?
Yes.
It's very interesting that these representatives are not listening to
the mob? The mob? The screaming mobs, the violent mobs? The ones that gave death threats? The ones that destroyed Kavanaugh's house where he had to move his family? The ones that drove through his yard and destroyed his yard, spray painted his house and broke his windows? That mob? Yeah, that happened. The ones that gave death threats to the senators or tried to bribe them?
I mean,
that mob? We're supposed to listen to the mob mentality now?
What more?
I'm just telling you, look, Kavanaugh had to hide his family because his house was attacked. He was under death threats.
What are the death threats that forced
No, this happened. What?
Yes, Every woman that comes out gets death threats.
So it does. So it's good for you. It's good for us, right?
The 19 women who've accused Donald Trump of sexual assault. What about them?
Where's the court cases? Most of them have fell through nothing. Nothing ever happened to them.
But see, the whole thing that you're talking about.
It's just like where was the evidence in the Kavanaugh? Nothing. Even the woman's best friend say, I don't know what she's talking about.
They did an investigation lasted, what, 5 days?
But what about him lying about what boofing was and what about the Devil's Triangle? I mean, he lied.
He didn't lie about that.
Yes, he did.
Let me ask you something. In other words, your mentality is such that we have to go back to...
Your mentality is that
You're going back to high school yearbooks.
What? No, I'm talking about what he said. I'm talking about what he said on television. No, I'm talking about what he said on television. What he said on television.
High school yearbooks.
The whole country.
High school yearbooks.
He said that booping wasn't putting a beer up your ass, and that's what it is.
How would you know that?
Because I know. I've done it. A lot of people have done it.
You stuck a beer can up your ass?
Not a can, a bottle.
You stuck a beer bottle up your ass?
Yeah, some of your friends were there. Shit.
That's an interesting guy. He lived a little bit.
That's a liberal for you. That's why hashtag walkaway is growing so big. You guys are walking around with beer bottles up your ass.
I just want to say this. If it's such a mob that what these folks are doing, then how about these people who are killing abortion doctors, killing them? Now, you cannot like abortion.
Hold a second. The only last one I remember that happened, I happen to know the doctor. It was Dr. Patterson, and it happened in 1985.
There's lots.
That was the last one I remember.
There's lots of this
I knew him.
inequity killing on both sides. So we shouldn't just assume mob because of killing. Those people that are there,
as I said, you're killing millions of babies. You celebrate that.
And
you're still here with nothing to say, right?
Thousands of babies awake from mothers, ripping them from their
ripping them from. Oh, just get them away, you Nazi bastard.
Yeah, you know how to do it. Look, he knows the move. That's not. It's just.
How many border agents have you spoken to?
None.
Thank you. If you go to my website, I guarantee
border agents are my employees. They are not my thought leaders telling me what to do. They actually get a paycheck to protect the border. That's what they do.
But being able to speak to one-on-one.
Okay, I'm getting ready to also. But I drive from Los Angeles to talk to them every once in a while.
I love it.
It's good.
I respect your ability to do this.
Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you.
Don't waste your time on me. It's fine.
If we can't actually have a conversation, then it just all goes to Hades real quick. We can't do that.
Well, that's why are the liberals stopping that with Antifa? Why does Antifa show up at every right-wing demonstration, but never at any left-wing demonstration? And why do they show up with guns and clubs and try to shut down the speech? Why is that?
Because they are a violent group.
And they associate. And why isn't the left condemning them? Why isn't Schumer and Pelosi and all the rest of them condemning them?
Can I say? Because there is a movement of nonviolent resistance that goes back to before my birth.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Antifa specifically now.
The reason
on the left, never showing up at a right-wing or left-wing demonstration. Always showing up at a right-wing demonstration.
So are we going to talk about?
I'm talking about the violence on the right. My representative was shot by a Bernie Sanders supporter. Out in California, the guy that's running against Schumer
I had a cross burned on my lawn.
By a leftist.
In my lifetime, I had a cross
burned on my lawn. That's what I'm talking about right now.
Oh, you want to just talk about these, but you don't want to talk about these. There are nonviolent
I'm talking about what's happening now.
So you can't.
No.
Yes.
I'm talking about show me the equivalent.
Your Trump man likes to talk about both sides. Let's talk about both sides.
I'm not willing to do that, but show me the equivalent.
So if you're talking about
the left
those
of the
on the
right
left,
shooting a liberal politician, show me that. Show me where they try to stab one. Show me where they've got the right's got the equivalent of the Antifa showing up at left-wing demonstrations causing violence. Show me that equivalent now.
That Charlottesville where they ran the woman down and killed her. That was Charlottesville where they ran them, and they walked around with tiki torches as if they were going to burn the town down.
But the tiki torches were a protest against the right wing.
Yeah, but they did have tiki torches though.
I'm not a tiki torch guy. Trust me.
Yeah, they had.
But the tiki torches were a protest against the right.
They had tiki torches, and the things that they were saying.
And I feel
those people were pieces of dog shit.
Right.
You want to know what happened? You want to know how you get rid of white supremacists? You don't show the fuck up when they show up at a courtyard. You let them preach to squirrels. You ignore them because they're not relevant. What you shouldn't do is strap up for a fight. That's stupid. That is absolutely insane. You're making everyone out to be a bad guy when you do that. When you go and you start fighting people, that's the end of democracy. You're now fighting.
It really gets me when people take this position, because then they say, it's just the positions that we're for. We're not necessarily for Donald Trump or the but the neo-Nazis run to the Republican Party for the positions. So obviously it's these positions that they love that are the problem.
It's not a huge problem. There's a few people. They're awful. Ignore them.
And
not relevant.
Just like the Antifa. And just like
no. Let's talk George Soros. Let's talk George Soros. You know who George Soros is?
Yes, I do.
All right? That there are awards for his arrest in a half dozen countries. You know that.
Good.
You know what for, don't you? Causing insurrection. And who funds Antifa?
And
George Soros.
And you know,
who funds MoveOn.org?
And you know the reason why you know George Soros' name, because of being honest and open. On the right, they won't even put their names to the nasty things that they.
I don't see the left saying that George Soros and his unrepentant Nazi collaborator. I don't see them saying it. The 60 Minutes interview on camera at 60 Minutes when they asked about his collaboration with the Nazis. They says, what you did, turning in your own people and then confiscating their property and sending them to the death camps, that would send a lot of people to the psychiatrist couch for 40 years. He says, did it bother you all? And this is a quote. This is, right? No, not at all. No. I just did what I had to do.
Right.
So there's a guy who is an unrepentant Nazi collaborator where he made his money confiscating his own people's property. That's where he started out his fortune. Then he went ahead and spent. Now he's the guy. He's the guy that funds a majority of all these left-wing groups. Black Lives Matter.
Bullshit.
No, I'm not. There's got the proof of it.
That is funny. These folks that are there in the Senate, they are not funded by anybody. No one is sending them.
They got pictures of his agents paying off the protesters in Washington, D.C.
Now, Trump voters in the rallies are
pictures
to be there.
Of agents of Soros paying them off in cash. The protesters that were there.
Early Trump rallies, they were paid. But see, this is not.
I went to the early Trump rallies. Don't tell me that. And now what? So who's paying the 40,000 people that show up now? Has he got that much money?
You can talk all of these things about Soros because of transparency.
Hey, did you know unemployment is as low as it's been since 1969?
Amazing, isn't it? Did you know that the black unemployment is the lowest it's ever been, along with Latino, women.
Well, see, you know, that benefits me because I am Latino, so that is fucking awesome.
And that, you know, black-owned businesses are up 300%.
Oh, I know. The world is just getting better.
And every businessman I'm talking to out here is going, my orders are backed up so much. My only problem I have is finding workers.
Let's see what
because
they say
for so many of these liberals
when you
on welfare, they don't want to get a job.
You did in George Bush. You destroyed the economy in George Bush. It just takes you all a little time. You want to talk about the economy now when the glow is still happening from the curves that have started.
It was Obama's, right? It was Obama, right. Obama lowered the taxes, got rid of the regulations, and all the businessmen I speak to out here that say that as soon as he got in, the regulations were let off and the taxes were given. It was like a boot off our neck. I talked to a guy yesterday. He supplies steel.
You're talking to Republicans.
I'm talking to businessmen.
You're talking to Republicans.
What does that mean? You know, they don't tell the truth?
No, they don't. No, they're
so these businessmen are telling me their orders are going through the roof. That, you know, the franchises are hiring and expanding.
Yes.
They're lying to me. That 3.7 unemployment, that's a lie too?
It is not. That's true.
Then if that's true, then these guys must be telling me the truth because it correlates with the low unemployment. Because with the low unemployment, if they're telling me, businesses are expanding, we're looking for,
Yes, if they've given outrageous tax breaks and they have money to hire, they're going to hire. Of course they're going to do that. Why wouldn't?
Well, what do you got against people having jobs?
Because it's going to drive the deficit up that you all always...
People having jobs is going to drive the deficit
put on us. That you
explain that to me. How does people having a job...
It's tax and spend. Let's talk tax and spend.
No. Explain to me how having a job drives the deficit up. Explain that to me. I want to know that...
Because they passed an outrageous unfunded tax cut.
That's giving people jobs. How does giving people jobs
expand the deficit? You only want to go half the way.
No, you just said... because these people are going to have jobs, it's going to expand...
The tax cuts are unfunded. Because the tax cuts are unfunded. That is how...
But they get... more people are at work, more tax revenue comes in.
That's the Laffer curve, and the Laffer curve
has been... Look, the last one that gave the tax cuts that Trump did...
So please don't talk
the last one that gave the tax cuts that Trump gave was Kennedy. And the same thing happened. When he gave the tax...
the last one to give tax cuts like that was Ronald Reagan.
Look it up.
Ronald Reagan. It was Ronald Reagan.
The Kennedy and Trump tax cuts are very similar.
Oh, I actually have someone sitting. I came up to see you, just to see you. But I'll be back. I'll come back to visit you again. Always good to see you.
Always a pleasure.